Good morning and welcome students. My name is Mr. Amol Palke and we are learning the topic abiotic environmental factor of BSc third year ecology. Here in this topic we had studied about the first abiotic environmental factor temperature that we had completed in previous topics. Okay. What is temperature we had seen and what are various effects of temperature on metabolism that are studied. Okay. Now here we had studied effect of temperature on metabolism, effect of temperature on growth and development, effect of temperature on reproduction, effect of temperature on distribution of animals. Then what is temperature and moisture relationship? We also studied effect of temperature on animals behavior and structure, then other effects of temperature and effect of cold, heat and lethal temperatures, that all we had completed in previous topics. Now today we will learn the next important abiotic environmental factor, that is light. Okay. Now, what is light and what its effects on the living organisms? That today we will see. Okay. What is light? Light is very important ecological factor. Without the light, the life cannot exist. Okay. For the existence of life on the earth, light is very important. Okay. The light here we refer to the sunlight. Okay. Sun is the source of light and energy to all the living organisms present on the earth. Okay. Then the light functions as an ecological factor by its variations in wavelength of light, intensity of light, and duration of light. By these variations, the light variously affects the living organisms and interactions depends on this. Then light can be considered in some ways as a component of climate. Okay. Especially when climate refers to total hours of sunlight over a given period of time. Okay. What is climate? That we face the various factors like rain, etc. These are the climatic factors, wind. Then light is also a climatic factor, and it refers to, okay, light refers to total hours of sunlight in a area and in a particular time series, okay, period of time. Okay. The most powerful source of light is sun. As we know, the light energy with wavelengths between 400 to 760 millimicron is the is called as visible light range, and this light range is absorbed by water itself and by all aquatic and terrestrial plants. Okay. This light band of wavelength 400 to 760 millimicron provides the radiant energy for photosynthesis. Okay, photosynthesis is the very important reaction which occur in green plants or photosynthetic plants. By which, what is photosynthesis that we had already studied? In photosynthesis, plants take carbon dioxide from air, water from water present in ground or soil through the roots, and in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, they produce glucose. Okay, and the energy is stored in the form of chemical energy. That solar energy is converted into chemical energy, and it is stored in the form of food. And then through the food, the energy is available to all the living organisms present on earth. In this way, light is very essential for photosynthesis, and therefore and thus it directly supports all autotrophic organisms. Okay, light supports all autotrophic. Autotrophic means the organisms which produce their own food by the process of photosynthesis, and all the plants are autotrophic. And it indirectly also supplies energy for heterotrophic organisms. The organisms which depend on other organisms or plants for the purpose of food and energy, they are called as heterotrophic organisms. Therefore, light is very, very essential abiotic environmental factor for the life. Then ecologically, the quantity of light, that is wavelength, are also called as color of light. Color of light, then the intensity, actual energy measured in gram calories or food candles, and the duration, that is length of day, that how much hours of day the light is available, are the important factors, okay, in ecological study. The light is not a vital factor but also a limiting factor. Okay, it is essential but also a limiting factor, both at maximum and minimum levels. The important effects of light we will see, these are as follows. Okay, we have to see effects of light on metabolism, then effects of light on color and structure, effect of light on development, effect of light on locomotion and orientation. Then we have to see some other effects of light, then effect of light on plants, effect of light on terrestrial organisms, then effect of light on aquatic organisms. We will see one by one these effects of light on metabolism. Okay, first we have to study the effect of light on metabolism. Okay, what is metabolism? That we have already studied. The chemical reactions occurring inside the cells of living organisms are called as metabolism. Okay, these metabolism is a very, very important characteristic of living organism, and the light effects on the metabolism. Okay. The visible light is very, very important and indispensable for photosynthesis. Now, photosynthesis is a metabolic process that occurs in green leaves of the plants that we had studied. For the photosynthesis, the chlorophyll of green plants, they furnishes the mechanism by which carbon dioxide is combined with water to form carbohydrate and to store the energy obtained from sunlight. And this is very, very important reaction, and it is useful for all living world of, okay, all living organisms. Now, what happens in photosynthesis? Here, the solar energy consists of different types of wavelengths, but the only wavelength 400 to 720 millimicron wavelength is called as visible wavelength, and this is used in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, we had already studied the chlorophylls are present in leaves of green plants. Okay, in these chlorophylls there are photosynthetic pigments called as, okay, chloroplast. In chloroplast, chlorophylls are present. These are the photosynthetic pigments, that chlorophyll A and so on. These chlorophyll, they absorb solar energy. Okay, they have reaction centers, and these reaction centers and accessory pigments, they absorb solar energy and convert this solar energy into chemical energy through the electrons. Okay, and during which the plants absorb carbon dioxide from air. They take water present in soil through the roots, and carbon dioxide and water in presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. They produces carbohydrate, simple carbohydrate, glucose. Okay, and oxygen is released as byproduct. Okay, this oxygen is very essential for survival of other heterotrophic organisms like human beings also. And the energy is stored in the food, and this energy is now available to all the living organisms. Okay, this is the first effect of light on metabolism. Then we will see the effect of light on color and structure. The light induces various chemical changes resulting in the formation of pigments. Okay, the color is due to the presence of pigments. The absence of light results in the loss of color among the cave animals. Okay, the animals which are present in the caves or simply in the dark. In these animals, the body color is not formed because the light is absent, and therefore the loss of color is occurred in such animals. The role of pigmentation and protective coloration are well known in terrestrial animals. Okay, terrestrial animals receive the sunlight, and therefore this sunlight or light produces various pigments in their skin, in their body, and because of these various colors are occurred, and these colors or coloration of their body is also used for the purpose of protection in the surrounding environment. Then many inhabitants of caves where light source has no ecological significance generally have vestigial eyes, or they may be present. Okay, the animals where the light is not reaching. Okay, then in these animals, the eyes are also not developed. Okay, sometimes they may be present. They are okay, and if not, they are also called as vestigial eyes. Then numerous animals of deep sea are blind. Why? Because sunlight does not reach up to that depth to the water. Therefore, they are blind or they have reduced eyes, and some have telescopic eyes. Thus, it becomes clear with these examples that the light affects certain structures, especially the eyes. Okay. Among green plants, light is required for production of chlorophyll in the chloroplast. Okay. In the plants, light is very essential. The plants grown under insufficient light does not develop their normal green color. Okay. But on the other hand, excessive light causes destruction of chlorophyll that we observe in the xerophyte plants. In this way, the light affects on the color of animals, plants, and also their structure. Okay, the structure also depends affected. We had studied in animals and also in plants. Okay, what structure changes of in the plants? Okay, the when the light is excess in plants, like in desert, then the leaves are not produced. Okay, leaves are not. The stem itself acts as the leaves or performs function of photosynthesis and storage of food. Okay, these are the structural changes in plants, and also we had studied the structural changes in animals because of the presence or absence of light. Then we have to study the effect of light on development. Okay, what is development? Development of animals. Okay, up to the birth, from birth to the adult stage. Here, one example we will see the salmon fish. The salmon larva undergo normal development only when they get sufficient light. In the absence of light, their development is not normal and mortality is the result, means the death occurs of the larva. And in this way, light affects the development of animals also. Okay, these are the effects of development, effects of light on development. Now we have to see another effects, but we will see these effects in next class. Okay.